When Osama bin Laden recruited 19 men to attack America in hijacked jet planes, he promised them many ridiculous things, like glorious, instantaneous deaths, where they would stand before a grateful Allah who would bequeath each of the hijackers 72 virgins. But there was one thing Osama bin Laden never promised those hijackers. He never promised to go along with them.
After this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women, and we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them.
Dear Trump supporter, Rick Wilson of the Lincoln Project once said, "If Donald Trump said tomorrow I'm in favor of child sacrifice, Trump supporters would say, well, we've got to reconsider child sacrifice, because that is the power he has over them." Now that may not be entirely true, but doesn't it strike you as a little true? Imagine if Donald Trump did say something like that. Can't you just imagine Jim Jordan or Matt Gaetz or someone on Fox News or OAN telling us that's not what Trump really meant? It's like when Donald Trump said he could shoot someone on Fifth Avenue and he wouldn't lose any votes. That may not be completely true either, but isn't it kind of true? Isn't just about everybody who supports him willing to go to almost any lengths to excuse the things he says and does? Now, I want to ask you something. Do you think that's healthy? Do you think that's a good thing? I know what you're probably going to say. When Donald Trump said to his crowd of supporters that they were going to walk down to the Capitol and he would be going along with them, he didn't mean he was literally going to be with them. He meant he was going to be with them in the spirit, right? Let me ask you something else, and please think this over. If Donald Trump is so brilliant, if he's such a great explainer, if he has all the best words, if he's so articulate, if he is a great negotiator of the art of the deal, and a stable genius, and all the other things he claims, how come his supporters always have to explain what he really means? Why can't he just say what he means and be done with it? More than that, when he said he was going to walk down to the Capitol with them, what do you suppose the crowd thought he meant? If he's so smart, don't you think it would occur to him that they might expect him to literally walk with them? If he meant he was going to be with them in spirit, why didn't he just say so? You know what I think? I think he lied to them. I think Donald Trump lies all the time. And I think you know he lies all the time too. But I think you've reached the point where it's almost impossible for you to admit it. So you go blind with rage at anyone who suggests he's a liar. But on some level, I think you know that Trump is a liar. Now that the damage has been done and the windows have been smashed and people have died at the Capitol, instead of showing any remorse or responsibility for what happened, Donald Trump instead scolded his followers. He scolded them with a hypocritical speech about how opposed to violence he is.
I unequivocally condemn the violence that we saw last week. Knock the crap out of him. I'd like to punch him in the face.
I don't condone violence, and I don't talk about violence.
I would have done well, but I would have been boom, boom, boom. I'll beat that. I don't know if I'll do the fighting myself or if other people will. Violence and vandalism have absolutely no place in our country and no place in our movement. Making America great again has always been about defending the rule of law, supporting the men and women of law enforcement, and upholding our nation's most sacred traditions and values. Mob violence goes against everything I believe in and everything our movement stands for. If you see somebody getting ready to throw a tomato, knock the crap out of them, would you? Seriously. I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. No true supporter of mine could ever endorse political violence. No true supporter of mine could ever disrespect law enforcement or our great American flag. No true supporter of mine could ever threaten or harass their fellow Americans. If you do any of these things, you are not supporting our movement, you are attacking it, and you are attacking our country. Try not to hurt him. If you do, I'll defend you in court. Don't worry about it. In the good old days, this doesn't happen because they used to treat them very, very rough. And when they protested once, they would not do it again so easily.
By the way, the fact that the Capitol was invaded and sacked, yet there was absolutely no effort to evacuate the President of the United States from Washington, D.C. to a secure location, tells you all you need to know about who was in charge of the attack. But here's finally the point. Donald Trump should have never encouraged the angry crowd in front of him to go to the Capitol in the first place, whether or not he intended to go with them physically or in spirit. That was a tragic mistake that cost the lives of 5 human beings who would probably be alive today if Trump had discouraged the crowd from going to the Capitol, if he had discouraged any acts of violence. It's a mistake Donald Trump makes over and over and over again. He says something to a crowd and people die. He tweets something nasty about someone he doesn't like, and suddenly they and their families are getting death threats. Now, if I said that Donald Trump is doing these things on purpose, you'd probably get mad at me and say I was putting words in his mouth and ideas in his head. But they're his own words, and if he didn't intend these consequences, if he didn't want people to die and families to get threatened, why does he keep doing it? Why does he never, ever learn? In short, if Trump is so smart, how come he can't figure out a way to keep his words from harming other people? I can figure it out. Can't you? Donald Trump exploited the fact that Democrats took the pandemic seriously by pointing out that we didn't attend rallies in huge masses of humanity. The truth is, we avoided huge gatherings because we didn't want to die. Because we knew that coronavirus kills, and it kills whenever large groups of people get together. You see, we don't need to parade around in red hats and trucks with flags and banners to vote. We are diverse enough and strong enough without big rallies, and we are out there in greater numbers. We aren't looking for ratings or savage displays of loyalty. Joe Biden isn't our warlord. He's our president. He was elected by votes, not by votes, by ballots, not by bullets. That's how America really works. You see, I love America because of what America is supposed to stand for. America's magic secret is in its name, the United States of America. That means you and me, black and white, religious or not. That's the America in the aftermath of 9/11. That America means we all get to live and work and play in America, free of oppression and free of fear. The easy part of America is your own freedom. The hard part is tolerating the freedom of others without violence or vengeance. It's our willingness to do the hard part that makes us Americans. Donald Trump wanted to divide us, and he wanted to divide us with violence. He didn't see a United States, he saw red states and blue states. He even punished states for being blue. I'm not asking you to stop being a Republican. I'm just asking you to stop believing in Donald Trump. We have a lot of work to do. We have a virus to defeat, an economic devastation to fix. Wouldn't it be better if we could fix those things together? Wouldn't it be better if we could once again be the United States of America? Yours very truly, Robert Harrington, one of the 81 million Americans who voted for Joe Biden.